Everybody can use a good side piece.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Side Piece. Today, the topic's going to be Star Wars. I'm Dan, and we have a special guest tonight.
I'm Brian Sketch.
And I am Talonted. Back with, like Dan said here, another episode of the Side Piece. And with tonight being Star Wars, we're going to start off backwards. We're going to start off with the latest Star Wars before we really dig into the history and what our favorite things and what we hate the most. So with the new Star Wars, I'll start with you, Dan. What do you think? Where do you put it? Where is it on the scale, since you're the man who had the ultimate scale?
Okay, so if we're going to count 8 movies, and we're not going to count any of the extra side ones like
Rogue One or anything like that.
Well, okay, it's at least at 5. At least. Because it's better than any of the prequels, in my opinion. Now, I think it could even be... that's probably where I put it, though. Like, right there. Maybe one step up. Like, I
disagree. I'm going to say, flat out, I completely disagree. But go ahead.
No. It's definitely... I enjoyed a lot of it. I think it did a really good thing to open up the Star Wars universe for future years. And I love that. It made the Force...
Burn it down philosophy.
It made the Force a character again. Mm-hmm. Like, it gave the Force back to Star Wars, and it's not just going to be this Skywalker lineage that we're watching, because it's got to be bigger than that. And it did that for me. Yeah. And, like, some of the decisions I made were a little weird, but
I think to do that is what it is.
But it's maybe there are other things that should have been told before you got to that point. Like, I feel the end of this newest movie should have been the end of the next one, because that felt like a very transitional moment to me, which is great. I agree exactly with the potential that the direction of this thing is going. I love the message that it's now taken out of... When you originally saw Luke Skywalker, he wasn't the son of Anakin Skywalker. He wasn't this lineage legacy kid. He was a farmer, like out in the country. He was a bumpkin. He was like an everyday person. Like anyone could really jump in his shoes. And then the universe kind of expanded.
His family was a legend.
Yeah, though.
His family was a legend 40 minutes into that movie. A legend.
You didn't know that, though. Did you know that about him?
Obi-Wan tells you about it. How great of a pilot he was in the wars. Okay, but already we're thinking like this historical thing, like, oh, his father fought against the Clone Wars, and Darth Vader killed him. Like, that's big shit. Like, already that's a big deal. That guy already is glorified right from the start. So I disagree with you. I disagree. From that moment, his lineage is important.
You're taking it way far back. Stick to the newest for a minute.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna dig into the history in a minute, because I want to.
You can't divorce this latest movie from the, like. There's so much that's so important about it.
Though they're divorcing it.
No, they're not.
They're splitting.
They are.
Yes,
The lineage. They are starting to do it.
They're taking it away,
but
where no longer is the Skywalker lineage going to mean anything.
Kylo Ren is still of the Skywalker lineage.
Yeah, it's
Kylo Ren is still part of Skywalker lineage.
He's gone. He has no kids. And there's no. Who else? Is there anyone else?
Well, we don't know.
No, it
yes,
doesn't
you
matter.
do know. There's Broom Boy. There's fucking like any.
Yeah,
the whole point is that they came from nothing.
There's Broom Boy and all these other people out scattered throughout the fucking universe.
And for some reason, they have miraculous honed-in skills with the Force. And like
after the Force Awakens, the Force has been awakened.
Can the Force ever go to sleep? What the fuck does that even mean? The Force is the energy field that binds everything together. Yeah. It means it is destiny. All that stuff
is tap into it is because what it turned out to be was.
You sound like you just wanted the original trilogy again.
No, not at all.
What?
I just wanted a...
Where did you want this movie to go that it didn't go? What story arc is it taking that you think is so bad for Star Wars right now? That's what I don't understand. People that... I understand there's some things that they did that were weird and kind of like, okay, like I buy that. Yeah, it's not good. But you know what? A kid probably loved that moment. Like... So you gotta think about it like that. Though. But like, as far as like the Star Wars, what did they really do? I love it because they left something for the third movie. We didn't see a dueling lightsaber scene between the good and the bad. We didn't get to see that yet. That's going to happen next time. This movie was the fight for Kylo Ren's soul, and we don't have to see that. Like Return of the Jedi was last time.
Even know. You're
both
assuming,
have to go all balls out.
Where everyone is assuming, the people are getting all pissy and going, all that fucking build-up, all that hoopty-la about who the fuck is Snoke, and then he's dead. Is he? Is he? Is he Darth Plagueis?
Is he just a psychotic manifestation of Kylo Ren's subconscious through the dark side? Who knows? There's a lot of fucking fanboy theories, and it's what fanboy theories is what killed this fucking movie. To me, because this whole movie, to me, from Ryan, is like
responded to fanboy theories.
In a way where they're like, you know what? Your fan theory sucks. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Like,
why would they do that?
The biggest problem this movie had going into it was that everybody was asking who Rey's parents were. And
because it's a question that they raised themselves. You know, it's not something that came from like nobody.
No, that's true.
They raised it in the movie.
Yeah.
In her, a girl praying for hope. That raised it. None of the other characters did. Just a little girl's hope who was left alone,
wondering who her
family was. That gives us no right to expect them to tell us a thing for a girl.
Never gives you a right, but it's leading you in a direction.
It's not.
And that's, normally when movies lead you in a direction, it's because they're going to.
The guy kept telling her there's nothing there for you.
To lead you in a direction and then go.
The guy.
Guess what?
Finn.
None of it meant anything.
No, but it wasn't.
But wait a minute.
No, wait a minute. No. Finn kept saying there's nothing there for you. They were telling you in the first movie, stop wondering a question we're not going to give you an answer to.
Okay.
The reason it works earlier on because nobody was asking who Darth Vader was. That's why Empire works so well. If you go into the question asking for something that you don't expect to get, then what are you doing?
Yes.
You're putting to expectations to a complete level.
However,
and why would it be Luke's...
Why would you go blatantly in the opposite direction?
But they didn't. It's nobody. Why
Part
would you
of the brilliance of this movie, let me just start off by saying, I don't know if you know this, but I actually did like the movie.
Okay.
I liked the movie as a movie. I just didn't like it as the Star Wars movie that was the ongoing Skywalker saga.
How I like Logan.
But I do have to say that I totally thought...
I'm talking about Logan with you, bro. I will go off.
Go on.
The thing that I think it's actually kind of brilliant that they said Rey's parents, they were no one, because it set the stage for what the tone of the next thing is.
He basically said,
I like the future that they're setting up.
They were drunks that sold her for next to nothing.
All right, so this is what I thought that the trilogy should have been. This movie in 2 parts, and The Force Awakens. Like, it honestly could and should have been something a little bit more intense with this kind of story arc that would cut to the ongoing story of the rest of the universe. And like there's still a Skywalker involved, but it doesn't have to be Skywalker centralized because it's opened their horizons. I think that is brilliant. I just wish it didn't happen in this movie, because I think that it robbed the actual Skywalker legacy and storyline from a very satisfactory ending.
And the Leia thing, they should have killed her. Take her out. You had 3 different versions where you could have been brilliant.
Stop.
I hope that they have a very clever way of explaining that, but
didn't though. But that's the point. That this movie it like glorifies the Skywalker legacy. That's what they're telling you at the end of the movie. That word has gotten to all these places about what Luke Skywalker did, and hope is born again. Everybody is going to join now because that's what they're telling you at the end of the movie. People have heard this story about how he took on as one person, and hope is alive again. That's what they're telling you at the end of the movie.
They have the whole thing?
Everybody's joining them now.
Say, Luke
because
was
they
there
heard
on
the story.
That planet that day, and he wasn't.
That's what you have for the third movie.
It's a lie. They're basing their shit on a lie. He wasn't even really there.
But
in any way that it matters, he was.
But they've kept this movie super, super small because there was nothing left. And hope is born out of what we heard And that's how you get a final movie.
Now
you have people joining.
Yeah, well, I mean, the final movie to me seems irrelevant. Like, Ryan Johnson's making his own fucking trilogy that I just assume is going to be like this new direction that Star Wars is going.
Right.
And I wanted that, but what I want is for.
But JJ is going to finish up the Ren and Rey story. And what's happening right now in this world.
If you ask me, though,
I'm already tired of the Rey and Ren story. I think it's reached its climax. Where the fuck do you go from there,
and he's
bro?
Plagueis or something equally amazing, then there will be redemption. If not,
I think he's going to come back as a glowing red force bubble. And
that
Luke
would be cool, but I don't think he's going to be back at all.
And then
I think he's going to.
I don't think he's going to be back at all. I think
he's going to reassemble himself.
The whole thing is that they're saying we're cutting everything from the past and it's fucking gone.
Hey, he wasn't even.
Which
the past,
to me
though.
was, I know. Like, all right, let me just say,
listen, if they end it like that, it means he was absolutely nothing. Completely fabricated for 2 movies. Do you think they would really do that?
in either straight up story or just metaphysically? Yeah, I kind of see where you're coming from there, where it's just like, it's a statement. But fucking, like, as much as I say that I respect and like the Rey's background or lack thereof story, Snoke's I find absolutely insulting in the other direction. And I feel like the only reason to do that is to say, you guys are obsessing too much over what you would like to see, that we're not going to give you what you would like to see because you've already ruined the anticipation of it, because you'll never be able to reach your expectation of that execution of that thing, so we're going to kill it and we're going to go in a different direction. And you know what, it was probably a very intelligent decision on their part, but what it does, unfortunately, is fucks over this really dramatic storyline. Not that it's not dramatic now, but like it just seemed like it had a much different story to tell. And you know what? But that's tainted from a person
in the throne room when he's tossing her around like it's nothing and shooting lightning from the ground was one of the grandest moments that it's right up there with some of those Vader scenes, man.
They did so much talking about the balance of the Force in this movie and how things, if there's one there's going to be the other. And if you believe you're going to see Luke as a blue Force ghost, I don't understand why you can't understand.
All right, stop obsessing over it.
But I think Snoke is still going to be there to teach.
Okay, so you think he's going to be around?
I honestly think he'll be around.
He's not done.
Yeah.
To teach. That's interesting. You think he'd be interested in teaching Kylo after he got sliced in half? Or?
Yes, because he got Kylo that he wanted. He has somebody to lead.
He broke him.
He can essentially
every single one of the
give the plan to the leader.
So he's still manipulating him psychically.
Isn't it?
So then the theory that he's actually not dead.
And the see you around kid?
He was like, him killing Luke Skywalker. Yeah. He was a projection. So he could show up and be like...
Well, and look...
But I think Luke is going to see... I think Ren is going to see Skywalker again. I think that see you around kid...
Sure. Look, I'm positive
I feel like there's going to be both of them.
Luke died projecting himself across the universe.
Sure, yeah.
Snoke was connecting the two of them like it was nothing. There's no way Luke's going to come back and Snoke isn't.
Right. That's what I think.
Now, whether it's physical or not, but what I'm saying is to look at Snoke's head to begin with, it looks like somebody chopped him in the head with a lightsaber at one point. And he's just now starting to get kind of close to being back to normal.
And I think that I feel like we could have...
Plagueis... I have to say, I wouldn't hate it. I really wish that other people hadn't ruined it by going out there.
Whether they did or not.
I'm telling you, they did.
Look,
whether
you might be right, you might not.
Listen, whether
Pray to the Star Wars gods and J.J. Abrams, may he rest in peace.
Did you just kill JJ?
Maybe.
I don't know why.
I don't
get
After that, it's over.
So,
he's not gonna ever do another. It's done.
Okay. Now, I also do
He's
not
got
have a problem
one
with
chance.
the lightsaber bit at the beginning, just the same way I didn't have a problem with Vader saying, "Don't choke on your aspirations."
Wait,
in Rogue One.
what?
Like,
Lightsaber bit
At the beginning. Like,
where
Oh,
he just tossed it?
That was hilarious.
It was humorous, and I think that was still in the realm of what Luke would do.
build-up?
But there was a lot that definitely did not, and I find his storyline insufficient, like inglorious, and it not satisfying. You know, like it does a cool thing. It does a cool thing.
I'm with his story.
It just doesn't.
Been
He
satisfying.
didn't finish.
He's never been a
He
good
jerked me
character.
for a good little while.
He's never been a good character.
I can't
Benicio
argue
del
with
Toro.
that. I
You
can't
got
argue with that.
Here's what I
okay.
never understood.
But-
you never watched Star Wars because Luke Skywalker was so great. Why did everybody expect Luke Skywalker to be so great? Like,
Because I thought that was the transition. You know what I mean?
Han Solo is the star of those movies. Darth Vader is the star of those movies, not Luke.
You're probably. I would have to say
Who
you're
does it start off?
almost
Listen,
right.
dude. And I'll even.
The droids.
I'm gonna give him credit. I'm gonna give him more credit. Mark Bernard said this, and it was the best thing I ever heard about Star Wars.
What?
The only one who has anything to lose in those movies is Han Solo, and he does everything that puts him in the worst situation. He is the hero of those movies.
Maybe he's
Luke,
the
it was
hero.
his destiny.
Yeah, well,
Leia was already on the mission. Everything Han does is worse for Han,
but
and he
if you're
keeps
not
doing it.
following the look. It's like when we talked about The Walking Dead, and it's Rick, and he wakes up, and it's happening. So who you're with is really what it is. And if you're gonna pick a human, it's Luke. It's Luke's story.
Or you could follow the story
That's how
where
he
Han
started.
leads the group to destroy. Wait a minute.
What did George Lucas do? He took us back. It was his daddy.
Okay, but who blew up the Death Star? It was Han and his team who blew up the Death Star the second time. He took
The
down
second time.
the first time. He's also saved Luke's ass at the last
Yeah, but
second.
he
So
didn't
no,
All I'm
but
saying-
I'm just.
And look, he needed that, right? He needed it. He needed
Harrison
to be
Ford
the
was a
one.
better actor than Mark Hamill. in this
I
movie.
agree with that.
I'm very sad that I did not see at least one reunion of the group.
I am too.
Because I
feel
wanted to.
cheated.
I wanted
yeah.
there to be something there, like an incredible awkwardness,
Yeah.
or like an incredible familiarity, like something that would actually contrast to the storyline. Because I think if you get
You got a Leia
if you
and
get
a
too
Han,
fanboy-ish,
you got a Leia and
then
a
it feels
But you didn't
artificial.
get
But when you get there and you get into a comfortable place and then you flip it, then it's something that you can maybe say that you were satisfied, and then it gave you something else that
How weird
It
is
automatically
how
took me
weird
out of
is
Han's
it?
original death the first time I saw it because it was the first thing I thought that we would never see the three of them together. Like I was like, we're never gonna see. Like,
Well, how weird is it
And I
that
was
she
like,
had
what?
scenes with both of them, and now she's gone, and yet they're both still alive, but they won't have a scene together because Han died in Force Awakens. So, like,
you think Han will show up
And Luke died
at
too.
the end of this next movie as Force Han Solo? I mean, he's not a Jedi.
Exactly,
But I think
Let's
he's
just
just
do it,
sly enough
do
of
it.
a scoundrel that he would figure out a fucking way, you know, like, and maybe Luke helped him along the way a little
Yeah,
bit,
sure,
and he's
okay.
too proud to admit that he did, you know. He's
Yoda
like, no,
was
dude, I
training
got
him-
myself.
Yoda was training him on the weekends when no one was looking. That's exactly what happened.
is Han Solo going to be incredible or terrible?
Yeah, because it's going to be one or the other. That's really what I'm thinking.
I'm
There's
worried
no in
that
between.
they like it went in such a comical direction, so I've heard, and then now they're trying to dial it back.
Ron Howard. they brought
I
him in
don't
to
know.
Set that shit straight.
Yeah,
Forrest Gump it out.
like that sounds like a pretty volatile situation. So, I mean,
They lost whole
they've got a
characters
heavy
because
hitter,
people couldn't come
hopefully he
back.
can do it.
People couldn't come back for the reshoots, so they lost entire characters from the screenplay.
Donald Glover, I hope, is still
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
cool.
Yeah.
He was one of
I mean,
the. He seeing him as Lando, which by the way, where the fuck was Lando the whole time?
That,
But
do you know the story of that? Why Billy D. Williams, is that his name?
Billy D. Yeah.
Was not in the new.
No, why?
He doesn't move very well.
he's because Landau is this debonair, like smooth, whatever, and this dude Billy D. Williams is bad shape, and they didn't want to they didn't want to smear it. It's like, why ruin this idea of this suave guy?
They'd have to recast it.
Yeah, and it's just, you can't.
And you don't want to do that.
Not when you're having a reunion.
Then it would end up as another target.
Billy D. Williams comes walking in. Hey, Han, you know, like fat and gross, like falling all over the place.
Oh, man.
Barely
a lot
able
of
to
respect.
see.
A lot of respect.
Sorry, man.
I don't know why there's a Leia
I'm gonna
cast
be
in
fat
it.
and gross soon myself.
I don't know why they cast Leia.
What do you mean? In Han?
Yeah.
I didn't know that they did.
They cast somebody for Leia. Now, I don't know if it's just
What?
because he's going to be
Amelia
doing...
Clarke is not playing Leia, is she?
They better not.
Maybe.
They couldn't have met until after we saw the first.
Well, no, but you could have a side story that like involves her.
Like
She's
they
making a run for
pass
it.
by,
Or
something.
she's doing something for the rebellion.
That's so
or like he's on a mission. He's smuggling something for the
Maybe
rebellion.
they never see each other.
Right.
Maybe they talk through the
Right.
wall the whole time because she can't be
Or
exposed.
she gives orders and he deals with somebody else.
She could have been. She
He
could
was
have
dealing with anybody.
What if she was the cargo that Han had to dump in order to avoid the Imperials? I know that jumps forward a lot in the storyline because it's supposed to be young Han, but that would be
It's supposed
cool
to
as
be
shit
young Leia,
if Leia and him had this whole conversation. It was this whole storyline, and then he had to dump her, and he never got to meet her. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know.
So we're way off on tangent. Let me
Yeah.
ask you, what is your order? What is the Star Wars order? From number 1 to number 9 or 8, because 9's not out right now.
Right.
God damn it.
See, mine all jump.
Kill me.
Mine get all mumbled in there. It's
I still have to stay with Empire,
Is number 1.
and I have to say The Last Jedi is probably in number 2.
Really?
I did, like I said, I very much liked the movie. It saddens me greatly, a lot of elements about it. I still was very, I was still very engrossed in the movie the entire time. There were a lot of very awesome, like, stand-up and cheer moments. There's a lot of catching your heart in your throat moments. There's a lot. I mean, everything that I wanted in a movie, they
that
did.
Scene where
they
he's
just
looking out at the other, like, the other planet thing, and it's almost like when he was standing on his own planet and he saw, like, the 2 moons or the 2 suns setting. Like, seeing that. The symbol of the Jedi when the tree burns.
Are 2 suns?
No. The tree burning
yeah, you can see like
is the lightsaber thing with the Jedi symbol is this, like, it's like
the 5-pointed, like,
yeah
thing, and then the lightsaber.
and that when the tree burn scene happens, you see that it's there very clearly. If you didn't recognize it,
I love the Yoda scene.
There's so much yes, and the Yoda scene, I love that too. It's a Muppet, bro.
Yeah.
They brought it and he was the goofy Yoda that died.
See, I don't know why people were so like. I get why there's little things to be mad at, but the movie's
and what did he say? He told it how it was, and it was like, here's another thing.
Something looked very weird the first time I saw him. Like the first couple scenes, cuts back and forth, he looked very weird. And to me, he looked like he was made out of a computer when he was doing his... But like I could tell that it was actually someone doing this because of the way he moved, like his center of gravity up there never really bounced.
There's definitely a part where they lay it. There's definitely a part where there's computer laid over top.
There's something weird that
I think it's
really
the very wide shot. I think they have the very wide shot the first time you see him, and I think it's I think it's right then, and then they quickly cut in a little bit closer, and it switches to puppet.
And then that was lit correctly, and like he just looked like he was right there in front of you. You didn't see things through him.
Yoda knew the books got taken, but Luke didn't. Do you know? Are you aware of that?
Yeah, and I mean I think that's part of what he was saying. That you know the Jedi's never going to end. She's out there.
Yeah,
you know,
but she got the book.
But they said that, like, that's the big question.
There's nothing in those books that she didn't already know.
Exactly.
Is what he said.
Yoda,
it's inside her.
Would Yoda have burned it down if she didn't have the book? Because I don't think it matters. I think either way he burns it down.
Yeah, you said.
I think so. I think you're right.
I don't agree. I think.
And this movie is definitely better than 1. It's definitely better than 2.
I don't know. That I'm telling you, that
It's-
Darth Maul lightsaber scene with Liam Neeson and Ewan McGregor.
Oh, episode
It's great.
1.
It's great.
That's
That scene alone.
5% of a otherwise pretty crappy movie.
And then-
I
and then
fast
some of
forward
the-
through all of
I
it.
don't
Like
know.
I
I think
really,
two-
I like the pod racing.
I still think 2's worse.
Yeah,
two's
2 is
my
definitely
least favorite.
because of
by
that
far.
dialogue, that god awful, force rapey
force rapey.
dialogue.
Well,
The whole time he's with Padme, all I can think of is him because of his
Oh,
propensity to
I never
use the
even
force
thought about
however the
that.
fuck he wants. And I think sometimes he
He
does
could-
it without even noticing
He
because
boned her
it's so
because
part
he
of him.
willed it.
He did. He totally used. I mean, there is a dark side ability if you're a role playing nerd that you can like basically mind fuck someone, and it can hurt them. Like if you don't do it properly, and it could hurt you too. But like
Properly.
I think he was doing it just because of his feelings. He was channeling it
He was
into
boning her mentally.
I honestly think that's why she
Constantly.
fell for him. But like that god awful dialogue, like he would have to be manipulating
much
her with the
older
force
than
for
him
any
was
of
she?
that shit to
It's a
fucking
god-awful
work.
dialogue.
Holy crap!
She's like 10 years older than him.
It was the worst
12,
like
13.
timing, the worst chemistry, the worst
She seemed like an adult when he was like 7.
tone of voice. Like nothing was good.
And then all that horrible CGI too.
Which
It
part?
was just a
the
giant.
Gungans?
Well, not the Gungans as much as like when they're running through. It's like a video game. What you would have to do on a video
Yeah,
game, and they're
well,
like jumping and
yeah,
going
yeah,
under.
yeah.
And
yeah,
then,
the conveyor belt.
Yeah.
Ching,
and then R2 takes off in flight, and like,
that.
and then
It's almost like they did it just to make it so that when you did play the video game, you're like, oh, this is that part of the movie.
I have been noticing a lot of scenes like The Incredibles, like a lot of that stuff feels exactly like, the video game cutaways right before you
Yeah.
start a level. Like, it looks like I'm watching a video game. And I think you're right about that. Like, I agree. I definitely agree that they orchestrated it almost that way.
We
And
didn't
it
get-
feels like a marketing tactic.
Yeah.
Like,
It
in
could
the
be.
film,
It
in
totally
your art.
could be.
I did not like the prequel trilogies just because it didn't. It
So none
went
of them
back.
are in
It
your
went
top
back
5.
on
Not 1, 2,
fuck,
or 3.
no. Well, three.
There
Three is.
There
I
are
think,
great
but
movies in all of them. There are great pieces of
Moments.
movies. There are great moments
Moments.
in all of them.
Yeah.
In every single one, there's a great moment. But I feel that I get more great moments in 7 and 8. I think I got a lot of great moments, and obviously the other thing, I might put 7 ahead of 8 because I love.
I
The
put
Force
7 ahead of
Awakens.
8 for sure.
But I also put.
Han Solo, again. I mean,
I was
Seven
so-
ahead of 8.
Isn't it? Yeah, 7's The Force Awakens.
You think that's better than the Last Jedi?
Yeah.
Huh? Really? You
Oh.
do too?
Well, just because of the moments. I remember how happy I was when I saw the Millennium Falcon on the screen again. Like I
That
was
was pretty cool.
so happy when they turned and ran towards it. I was like, oh my
Han was
god!
like one of the best
Yeah.
parts of the movie.
Yeah.
The dying of it was a heartfelt moment. I didn't get that heartfelt moment.
And
at all.
he didn't but I love the Jedi. I love the lightsaber battle in the forest, like in the snow. I thought that was awesome.
It's okay.
It had a lot of
I like
excitement.
the older shit better.
Did you
I
see
like
that someone
Luke
is
getting his hand
Did
cut
you
off.
see that someone is taking
That's the greatest moment in the series.
Star Wars: The New Hope, and then is like tweaking the fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader to make it more badass.
Oh.
Like I think that would
You're
be.
talking about like
I
the
would
one
really
where he just gives up
appreciate
and lets
that.
him like.
Well, yeah, that on the Death
That would
Star,
have to
the
still
first
be
Death
there,
Star, them doing their lightsaber duels. Like
Who's redoing this?
it's something that I saw posted on the internet that this guy is doing.
fan thing?
And they have like a trailer for it, and it looks pretty cool. I've seen people just take that footage and like edit it and make it more exciting just
Yeah.
by the cuts and
It's amazing
speeding it up
what
in
you
certain
can do.
times and like switching
saw
things
that
out
little
like
piece
it
with the
and it
sketch.
made it way more interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Like that would be something that I would welcome. I don't like tweaking with things that were already there
No
too much.
recasting or doing.
But I think
weird-
that serves you better than
spooky CG.
old Jabba the Hutt in a place where they didn't need him because
Right.
they already went over all this shit with fucking Greedo 10 seconds ago. Like it's the same conversation.
Oh, you're talking about
for fucking Batum. Can we not have Jabba here?
The George Lucas repass where they
The
had
special
him.
edition.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this though. I'll take all the bad parts of the special editions that they added, just so I have complete cities in the background on all the planets and stuff like that. I like the enhancements. Right. But the enhancements aren't bad enough, and the new scenes aren't bad enough that I would get away from the enhancements. I like the way the backgrounds and everything look better enough that I'm fine with it right now. Like, it doesn't bother me anymore. Like, the biggest one is him screaming when he falls. That kind of irritates me. And the Greedo shooting first. And, like, they bother me, but I'm like, whatever. It's so quick.
Yeah, that shouldn't even
The Jabba scene sucks, but I usually just get up and go do something.
Did Lucas ever sit down and, like, give a definitive answer on that?
Well, you heard that.
On the, like, who shot first? Did he say?
Lucas?
Yeah.
No, he did. Yeah, everything. He said everything he added was his original plan. He said it was all his original plan. So he's.
I'm saying. So Greedo shooting first, he said, was his original plan. Yeah. It's just that people interpreted it whatever way.
Right.
Okay. So then let me.
But there wasn't a bullet before. Like they added it.
They added it entirely.
Like there was never a bullet. Or like
the laser shot. And
they add a laser shot. Yeah. Like there's no question of who shoots first if you watch it.
Yeah.
But in the other one, he never shot.
Now here's the question.
He just got shot from under the table.
Yeah. It would be like me missing you. Like how do you miss from this distance?
Here's the question though. If he handed over the footage, the dailies, and just gave it to the editor, and that dude chopped it and just goes, "This is what looks the best." But his original intention was for Greedo to shoot first, is what I'm saying, and that this guy took the liberty.
He should have. Han should have shot him as he's pulling his gun, so that when it hits, his hand goes to the side and shoots
All I'm telling you is,
that's the way that shit should have gone.
I have been editing things.
Yeah, but I think
like
he edited
that sketch.
He edited the original Star Wars, didn't he?
Whole part. No, he didn't. Totally not.
I don't know.
What I'm telling you is there are whole parts that I'm changing. Like Lily's not going to come out, grab the thing, and spin it around the picture that I adjust.
Okay.
And it's because the way that the edit is going to work, and I have to cut from this scene to that. Like this take worked for that, and then this take worked for that, but I can't use the part after this. It's choosing itself, is what I'm saying. And so if they shot it where it looks better that Greedo or that Han, it looks like Han shot first, but it was Lucas's intention that Greedo was going to shoot, and it was more of a self-defense thing. Dude, how can you not take...
He did it? If that was the plan...
Then
Lucas would have had
been quicker on the draw.
And Lucas would have had time to put it back in.
So what?
Like you making it sound
like he's just making this up?
Yes.
Why would he do that?
He's done it before. Because he's claimed some crazy shit.
He didn't want Han to kill somebody in cold blood. He didn't want that from the character. What the character became.
What it became. Okay.
Han was also supposed to die, and he didn't die, so he became a completely different character.
Well, from what I understand, that was. Harrison Ford wanted the character to die.
Oh yeah, he wanted to be killed off in Empire.
Yeah, he didn't want to. He didn't want to.
Putting him in
not like the character.
Right, carbon freeze killed him.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know.
Lucas fell in love with the character.
I guess we will never know. Is that what?
Here's one of the.
Did Greedo shoot first?
Han says he shot first.
Did he?
Yeah, Han said.
Harrison said it.
And I think it cheapens his character when you do that shit. Like I said, he should just be alive because he's fast, because he's not that lucky.
Right.
And he's pretty slick. So I think that he's recognizing the situation he's in, and it's a Wild West scene where it's a quick draw. And Greedo already had the drop on him, so when he saw he was straightening his arm to go, he bam, faster. Like, I don't know. That's how you make that.
I'm gonna
shit
have
cool.
to watch that.
He shoots him just half a moment before
Ultimately,
Greedo
though,
shoots,
what I'm saying
and
is,
it goes by him, and he
fuck George Lucas if he's lying.
Well,
and he changed his fucking mind. That's a dick move. But if he isn't, then shame on you guys for trying to make shit up. Trying to tell a guy who it was his fucking idea. What his idea?
All I'm saying, if it was his idea, he would have had time before the movie came out to fix it.
Yeah.
They could have had. I'm sure they
there
had
are other
scene.
elements that
I don't know. I don't know how
that shed suspicion on that, because he's said at many different times that he had like a plan the whole time for all of Star Wars, but then you read the original stuff. And it's so not the same. Like the original story,
He's got an idea. He had an idea.
it was so fucking different.
Everything.
So him to say that like
Especially if you
everything
wait
was
20 years to write it. Of course, it's going to change.
Well,
You're a different person. There's
You know
no
what
way. Because I'm assuming he had an outline. You know what I mean, like in a story. But then he.
And you go from
20 years
outline
ago.
to screenplay, from screenplay to actual filming. And I'm going to tell you, anyone will tell you this. Regardless of what you've written and how much you are going to stick to what you have written, it is not a complete thing until you've done it.
sure.
It will change when
Right.
you actually physically go to do it. There's no way around that.
I hear.
So whatever his original intention is, it's not going to come out and be that. Because
Well, we
it
might
can't
know
be.
now because they said one of the sweetest parts of the 20th Century Fox Disney deal is they'll get the original Star Wars print now because they've never had that before.
Shit.
Because Lucas had the original prints for the other two because he released them himself because he made so much money off the first one. But 20th Century Fox paid for the distribution.
Do you
Like they
think
had
they're
the
gonna
distribution
release
rights for the
some
original.
Unheard of material?
No, because I think it'll be the original. It might
Just
be.
build it up and be like, nope.
They might sell like a
It's there.
They might sell a
But they won't.
$75 one that says like Star Wars Without a New Hope on it. Make it super
Yeah.
special.
All right, ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
the Star Wars.
I think I don't know. Have we come to the point on Star Wars yet? This could go on forever.
Right, yeah.
There,
We
there
didn't
are
even
many
talk about how
really
great
great
Empire
moments in
was.
all of the Star Wars, and a lot of gaffes, and a lot of stuff that's just like, did it have
Like
to be
they're
like
never,
that?
they've never
But,
been
you know,
great.
It's
I think you're right.
It's only
And
great
I'm
to the
very
kids who
sure
watch
that
it for the first time.
Right. I'm very
So
sure
each
that I'm looking
generation-
at it through rose-colored glasses, like thinking that Goonies is still good. Like I haven't seen it
Goonies
forever.
is still
Dude.
good.
Is it? That's not what I hear.
Like I mean, I love Empire. I could
I
still
know.
watch Empire. I can watch any of them. Like, and if I'll watch any of them, if 1, 2, or 3 are on, I'm still gonna watch it.
I'm not
some-
watching
Honestly, I will.
if 2 is. If
No,
1
2
is,
I won't either. You're right.
If 1
2 I
is,
won't.
I'll record it and then fast forward to the Duel of the Fates, and that's it. That's all I need from that movie.
Corny or not, I was telling him the last week when we did another side piece and we were talking about Batman. It was Batman, like Michael Keaton, and then Batman Returns. I watched them back to back, and I still enjoyed them. Cheesy as they were,
Sure.
like, you know.
Yeah, I enjoyed them for what they were.
Yeah,
I mean,
and,
once
like,
it went
watching
Schumacher,
it,
like the first
does it
Schumacher was
hold
kind of like
forever. It was
It
amazing.
started slipping.
It was like a
There
game.
was cool things about it, but like you could just tell it was
Chair.
on it's on its way out.
Chair.
The hockey team from hell. Ooh.
Oh, that's
Holy shit. Fucking, I mean, I wish Tommy. I like Jim Carrey. But he kind of played the Riddler like the Joker, which I know, like the 60s television version was kind of out there like that too. But like, it
Jim
didn't
Carrey
need to be
in
like
the
that.
Star Wars universe.
Oh shit.
Does he ever roll?
Luke Skywalker. Like that's the only role that I could think of him playing. I think he could have played
I'm talking
this
about
version of Luke
future roles.
Skywalker better than Mark Hamill
No,
played it.
I'm talking about.
Have you seen that interview with him talking about his experience playing Andy Kaufman?
Yeah.
Fucking
I haven't watched
watch
it.
it,
that
dude.
documentary
Watch it.
is the
That's what-
question.
Now
Yeah,
watch
I
that and think of
It's on Netflix.
No, I wanna do that,
him
yeah.
as Luke Skywalker.
Because I love that movie. I love Man on the Moon. I think. It's
Yeah, I
great.
thought it was
Yeah,
fantastic.
but watching how they made it,
No, I want to.
poor everybody.
Yeah.
Especially Jerry Lawler. Like he didn't
yeah.
deserve all that.
He's
Like,
like, me and Andy were friends.
we're
in real
friends
life.
in real life, dude. You gotta at
Fucking
least have
with
that in your head that like no, I gotta do it this way. It's like, dude,
How rough.
if your
that shit.
intent
I
is
can't wait
to put yourself into exactly what he would do, then you just have to take it
We're
in
gonna
the
cut
complete
this real
context.
quick. Let's say goodnight to everyone, and then we'll possibly do maybe one more. But
Yeah, Star Wars. If
20
you haven't
hours.
seen it, you should check it out. There's only 9 of them right now. I mean, you can catch up pretty quick.
9 days, or if you're like me, 2 days. Just watch it back to back to back.
You know, you don't have to go to the restroom. You know, order some pizza and you're good.
Get a cup or a Gatorade bottle and just put it here.
Colostomy bag.
Colostomy bag works too. I don't know how you'd hook that up.
No thanks. I'm not that big of a nerd.
All right, get us out of here.
All right, man. Till next time. This has been Talent.
Brian.
Dan.
See you on the next side piece.
You're watching Talonted Productions.